When it comes to car insurance, two terms often cause confusion: liability and full coverage. Many drivers are unsure about what each actually means, and even more are misled by common myths. In this video, we'll break down the differences between liability and full coverage and tackle the most widespread misconceptions. By the end, you'll have a clear understanding of what each type of insurance covers and how to make the best choice for your needs. Let's start by defining what liability and full coverage actually are before we dive into the myths. Liability insurance is the most basic form of car insurance required by law in most states. It covers the costs if you are at fault in an accident and cause injury to others or damage to their property. However, it does not cover your own injuries or damage to your own vehicle. Many people mistakenly believe liability insurance is enough for all situations, but it's important to know its limitations. Understanding what liability insurance does and does not cover is the first step in making an informed decision about your car insurance. Full coverage is a term often used to describe a combination of different insurance policies, typically including liability, collision, and comprehensive coverage. Unlike liability insurance, full coverage can help pay for damage to your own vehicle, whether it's from an accident, theft, or natural disaster. However, full coverage doesn't mean you're protected from every possible scenario. It's important to understand exactly what's included in your policy, as coverage can vary between providers. One of the most common myths is that full coverage means you're protected against every possible risk. In reality, full coverage has its limits. For example, it may not cover personal belongings stolen from your car, mechanical breakdowns, or certain types of natural disasters. Always read the fine print and ask your insurance provider about exclusions. Knowing what's not covered can help you avoid unpleasant surprises if you ever need to file a claim. Another widespread misconception is that liability insurance will pay for repairs to your own vehicle after an accident. In fact, liability insurance only covers damages and injuries you cause to others. If you want protection for your own car, you'll need collision or comprehensive coverage. This distinction is crucial, especially if you rely on your vehicle for daily transportation. Many people believe that full coverage is a legal requirement, but that's not the case. Most states only require drivers to carry liability insurance. Full coverage is often required by lenders if you're financing or leasing your car, but it's not mandated by law. Understanding this can help you avoid paying for unnecessary coverage if you own your car outright. A common misunderstanding is that full coverage eliminates all out-of-pocket expenses after an accident. In reality, most full coverage policies include deductibles, which are amounts you must pay before insurance kicks in. Additionally, some damages or losses may not be covered at all, depending on your policy. Always review your deductible amounts and policy exclusions to understand your financial responsibility. While liability insurance is generally less expensive than full coverage, this isn't always the case. Factors like your driving record, location, and the type of car you drive can affect the cost. Sometimes, adding comprehensive or collision coverage may not significantly increase your premium, especially if you qualify for discounts. It's important to compare quotes and coverage options before making a decision. Some drivers assume that having full coverage on their own car automatically extends to rental vehicles. However, this isn't always true. Coverage for rental cars depends on your specific policy and the rental agreement. Some insurers offer rental car coverage as an add-on, while others do not. Always check with your provider before renting a car to avoid unexpected expenses. Liability insurance does not cover theft of your vehicle. If your car is stolen, only comprehensive coverage can help reimburse you for the loss. Many drivers are surprised to learn this after an incident. If theft protection is important to you, make sure your policy includes comprehensive coverage. Full coverage is often misunderstood to include protection against mechanical breakdowns, like engine or transmission failure. In reality, these types of repairs are not covered by standard full coverage policies. Mechanical breakdown insurance or an extended warranty is required for such issues. Always clarify what your policy includes to avoid confusion. Some drivers believe that full coverage is always the best choice, but that's not necessarily true. The value of full coverage depends on factors like the age and value of your car, your financial situation, and your risk tolerance. For older vehicles, the cost of full coverage may outweigh the potential benefits. It's important to evaluate your needs and budget before deciding. Many people think liability insurance automatically covers injuries to their own passengers. In reality, coverage for your passengers depends on your policy and state laws. Some policies include medical payments or personal injury protection, while others do not. Always check your policy to ensure your passengers are protected. If you've added custom parts or accessories to your car, don't assume full coverage will automatically protect them. Most standard policies have limits on coverage for aftermarket additions. You may need to purchase additional coverage to fully protect custom equipment. Always inform your insurer about modifications to your vehicle. Liability insurance does not cover your losses if you're the victim of a hit and run. In such cases, uninsured motorist coverage or collision coverage is needed to help pay for your damages. It's important to understand what your policy includes so you're not left unprotected after an unexpected event. If you use your car for business purposes, standard full coverage may not protect you in the event of an accident. Business use often requires a separate commercial auto policy. Using your personal vehicle for work without proper coverage can leave you exposed to significant financial risk. Liability insurance only covers damages you cause to others, not damages to your own car from natural disasters like floods, hail, or fire. Comprehensive coverage is needed for protection against these events. If you live in an area prone to natural disasters, consider adding comprehensive coverage to your policy. Some believe that full coverage means anyone who drives your car is automatically covered. In reality, coverage usually applies only to drivers listed on your policy or those with permission. If someone not listed on your policy gets into an accident, your insurer may deny the claim. Always clarify who is covered before lending your car. Liability insurance does not cover vandalism to your vehicle. If your car is damaged by vandalism, only comprehensive coverage can help pay for repairs. Many drivers are unaware of this gap in protection until it's too late. Review your policy to ensure you have the coverage you need. Full coverage does not automatically include roadside assistance or towing. These services are often optional add-ons that must be purchased separately. If you want towing coverage, check your policy or ask your insurer about adding it. Don't assume you're covered until you confirm. Liability insurance covers medical expenses for others if you're at fault in an accident, but not your own medical bills. For your own injuries, you'll need medical payments coverage or personal injury protection. Understanding this distinction is crucial for your financial security after an accident. If your car is totaled, full coverage may not pay off your entire loan balance. The insurance payout is usually based on the car's actual cash value, which may be less than what you owe. Gap insurance can help cover the difference. If you're financing your car, consider adding gap coverage for extra protection. Liability insurance typically covers legal fees if you're sued after an accident you caused. However, coverage limits apply, and if costs exceed your policy limits, you may be responsible for the difference. It's important to know your policy's liability limits and consider increasing them if needed. Full coverage does not automatically include coverage for lost wages if you're unable to work after an accident. Some policies offer personal injury protection or add-ons that can help, but these are not standard. If income protection is important to you, ask your insurer about available options. Liability insurance does not protect you if you're hit by an uninsured driver. For this, you need uninsured motorist coverage. This type of coverage can help pay for your injuries and damages if the at-fault driver has no insurance. It's a valuable addition to your policy, especially in areas with many uninsured drivers. Full coverage does not automatically cover personal belongings inside your car, such as laptops or phones. These items are usually covered under homeowners or renters insurance, not auto insurance. If you carry valuable items in your car, check your other policies for coverage. Liability insurance usually covers you only when driving your own insured vehicle. If you drive someone else's car, you may not be covered unless you're listed on their policy or have a special endorsement. Always check before borrowing a car to avoid gaps in coverage. The term full coverage can mean different things depending on the insurer and state regulations. Always ask your provider for a detailed breakdown of what's included in your policy. Don't assume your coverage is the same as someone else's, even if you both have full coverage. Liability insurance does not pay off your car loan if your vehicle is totaled. It only covers damages and injuries you cause to others. If you have a loan or lease, your lender may require full coverage and gap insurance to protect their investment. Flood damage is only covered if you have comprehensive coverage as part of your full coverage policy. Not all full coverage policies include comprehensive, so it's important to confirm with your insurer. If you live in a flood-prone area, make sure you have the right protection. Liability insurance does not cover fire damage to your own vehicle. Only comprehensive coverage can help with repairs or replacement after a fire. If fire risk is a concern, make sure your policy includes comprehensive protection. Collisions with animals, such as deer, are typically covered under comprehensive coverage, not collision coverage. If you want protection against animal-related accidents, make sure your policy includes comprehensive coverage. This is especially important in rural areas. Weather-related damages, such as hail or wind, are not covered by liability insurance. Only comprehensive coverage can help pay for repairs from these events. If you live in an area with severe weather, comprehensive coverage is a smart choice. Glass repairs, such as windshield replacement, may not be included in standard full coverage. Some insurers offer separate glass coverage or require a specific endorsement. If you want glass protection, ask your insurer about your options. Liability insurance does not include rental reimbursement if your car is in the shop after an accident. This is an optional add-on that must be purchased separately. If you rely on your car, consider adding rental reimbursement to your policy. A flooded engine from driving through high water is only covered if you have comprehensive coverage. Even then, some policies may exclude certain types of water damage. Always check your policy for specific exclusions and ask your insurer if you're unsure. Liability insurance does not cover your car if it's stolen. Only comprehensive coverage can help reimburse you for a stolen vehicle. If theft is a concern, make sure your policy includes comprehensive protection. Tire damage is not always covered by full coverage policies. Some insurers exclude tire repairs or replacements unless the damage is caused by a covered event, like a collision. If you want tire protection, ask your insurer about your options. Liability insurance does not include roadside assistance. This service is usually available as an optional add-on. If you want help with flat tires, dead batteries, or lockouts, consider adding roadside assistance to your policy. Acts of terrorism are not always covered by standard full coverage policies. Some insurers exclude these events, while others may offer limited protection. If this is a concern, ask your insurer about specific exclusions and available endorsements. Liability insurance covers injuries you cause to others, but not your own injuries. For personal injury protection, you'll need to add medical payments coverage or personal injury protection to your policy. This is especially important if you don't have health insurance. Some people think full coverage offers the same protection regardless of the car's age. In reality, coverage limits and exclusions may change as your car gets older. Insurers may reduce payouts or exclude certain types of damage for older vehicles. Always review your policy as your car ages. Liability insurance may not automatically cover all family members who drive your car. Coverage typically applies to drivers listed on your policy. If a family member regularly uses your car, make sure they are properly listed to avoid denied claims. Full coverage does not guarantee protection in every type of accident. Exclusions may apply, such as racing, intentional damage, or using your car for prohibited activities. Always read your policy to understand what is and isn't covered. Understanding the differences between liability and full coverage and knowing the truth behind common myths can help you make the best decision for your car insurance needs. Always review your policy, ask questions, and consider your personal situation before choosing coverage. Remember, the right insurance protects not just your car, but your financial well-being and peace of mind. Stay informed and drive with confidence.